Riwaka, the rural enclave in the shadow of the Takaka Hill near two large rivers, is used to flooding. But the severity of this week's deluge wrought by Cyclone Gita caught residents by surprise. Many just had time to grab their children and pets before fleeing to safety. And now they're returning to the cost of the damage to their homes and crops and land, and to start the long process of cleaning up. Our reporter Tracy Neal filed this story from the area.
Receiving over. Currently making our way 77 Riwaka Sandy Bay Road. Over.
It's all hands to the pump at the Civil Defence Incident Control Point in Riwaka, the fruit basket of the Nelson Tasman region. Leader Jen Chaddock explains what's happening.
So this region's been hit really hard. There's a lot of flooding and a lot of landslides, a lot of distraught people, welfare-wise as well, but quite emotional. So what we've done is we've banded together a few different resources using Red Cross, Civil Defence, and also teams from over the hill over in Marlborough, which is very handy. We've got building inspectors with us as well, and we're doing an assessment in prioritised areas in the region at the moment today, just to try and make sure that we're working from house to house. We've prioritised areas that were, of course, the most damaged, and then we're working through to the lesser damaged areas, but everyone's quite important, so we're trying to work our way through the region.
Over the hill in Maraho, which remains cut off by slips, things sound bad. Kyle Mullender was at the control centre in Riwaka trying to get help for his friends, Christchurch quake refugees, who've tried making a new life here. He says forestry logs have gone through their home and lifestyle block.
The animals are okay. We're one rabbit hutch down, so we need to find a rabbit hutch, and yeah.
They're safe though, they're not injured?
They were okay. They were actually, luckily they were outside at the time, but if anyone had been there, I mean, there's just logs everywhere, so yeah, it's just horrific. Yeah.
As rescue teams try to reach more remote areas, residents on Riwaka's main road, the road to Kaiteriteri and the Abel Tasman National Park, are now in clean-up mode. Grower Frank Hickmott's family have farmed the area for a century. He says flooding is part of working with the land here, but Cyclone Gita was different.
It was very quick this time and very dirty, a lot of local slipping and sediment coming from there. Through our packing shed it was about the depth of a pallet. We had to go through and put a pallet under each one just to stop it getting, in case it went any higher it would have got into the produce.
He says it's heartbreaking for apple growers about to harvest. The flooding in the region as a whole, which grows a quarter of the country's apples, has been described as a big setback by industry group Apples and Pears Incorporated. Down the road, Katie and Pete Ferguson are busy sweeping a thick layer of mud from their yard. It's their worst flood in the 8 years they've lived here. Mrs. Ferguson says they didn't have time to grab much before they were evacuated. They've just returned home.
Yeah, it was really overwhelming to come home to though, and sad to see your property like this.
So the community's stuck together and helped out here?
Yeah, so it's been like so heartwarming, like, you know, just even strangers popping in, you know, and dropping off morning teas or turning up with wheelbarrows. It's so beautiful.
The Fergusons left with their 2 kids and a dog, plus their neighbour's family and their dog. Pete says the evacuation centre wasn't quite prepared for the number of animals that turned up. Gary Allen, who was busy today pumping out his flooded home and yard, didn't hesitate when he was told to leave.
Yeah, it happened really fast. It was just steady rain until about 4 o'clock, 4:30, and then it just poured out of the sky. And we were evacuated by 5:30, 6 o'clock. We were told to get out. We were happy to go. We could see it rising really fast, and we knew we had to go. And the police and search and rescue were all out the front saying go.
Frank Hickmott says the area's location below a mountain and near a large river make it flood prone.
In our case it's just the catchment here, with that type of rain coming northeast like that, it traps it in and it's heavy on those ranges. To us and some of the others I've spoken to, it didn't actually seem that heavy a rain. We were surprised how quickly it rose. Literally within an hour it was up.
And while people on the ground in Riwaka work around the clock to clean up their properties, the sky above them is also busy, with aircraft heading to and from flood-damaged Golden Bay. In Riwaka for Checkpoint, Tracy Neal.